So good evening, everyone. By the way, my name is Joshua Elhaitin, and with me is Sir Ramil Pamatong as the presenter for Chapter 4 in the Critical Literature Review with the reference of Research Methods for Business by Uma Shikaran and Roger Bausch. Before I'll start my discussion, let me just read the following objectives for this chapter. So after learning the chapter 4, we should be able to first discuss the function of literature review. The second is to write a literature review on any given topic, documenting the references in the prescribed manner. And the third is to discuss ethical issues of documenting the literature review. So to discuss first, the first topic would be the introduction of the critical review. So let me read the definition. So critical literature review is a step-by-step process that involves the identification of published and unpublished work from secondary data sources on the topic of interest, the evaluation of this work in relation to the problem, and the documentation of this work. So when we say critical literature review, this is the step process in the making our research work. So it determines the using of secondary data as a source of the information in relation to the research that we are going to partake. Now, a literature review is the selection of available documents, both published and unpublished, on the topic which contain information of ideas, data, and evidence written from a particular standpoint to fulfill a certain aims or express a certain views of nature of the topic and how it is to be investigated and effectively evaluation of these documents in relation to the research being proposed. This is stated by the Hart, 1998, page 13. So therefore, critical literature review is very important as a supporting document in our research. Now, in general, a literature review ensures the following. First, the researcher's effort is positioned relative to the existing knowledge and build on this knowledge. The second, you can look at a problem from a specific angle. It shapes your thinking and spark useful insights on the topic of your research. So it means the literature review adds as a catalyst to provide more information, more insight, more questions in your research of field, the field of your research. Now, the third, you do not run the risk of reinventing the wheel. That is wasting your effort and trying to rediscover something that is already known. So therefore, if you have a background of in the literature review, therefore you can put that your work is unique and therefore preventing to waste your research in things that has already been answered. So the next is the fourth, you are able to introduce relevant terminologies and to define key terms used in your writing. This is important because the same term may have different meanings depending on the context in which it is used. Definition will also have to give structure to your essay, article, or reports. This is very true. Sometimes other meanings would be different from other fields. So this is why the critical literature review induces more broad definition in the context of your chosen field. Fifth, you obtain the useful insight of the research method that others have used provide an answer to similar research question. Knowledge of the research method used by others allows you to replicate existing research, which will help you relate to your research finding and to the finding of others. So therefore, you can use other documents, other theories to back up your research, thus providing the uniqueness and the transparency of how you work your research. Now, the last of the literature review importance. Number 6, the research efforts can be contextualized in a wider academic debate. In other words, it allows us to relate your findings to the finding of others. It means that your work can be contested to other works for a form of a debate so that it can create more new question on the field of study you have chosen for. In the next slides, you can see a flow of research which the critical review of literature will spark many useful insights in your research topic. It will allow you to work in an expert manner to make informed decision and to benefit from existing knowledge in many different ways. Now, as you can see, it has the first box in the upper left corner, which is the observation of broad area of the research interest field. We have the second is the preliminary data gathering, and the third is problem definition. And the fourth, as you can see, this is the critical literary review. As you can see, it has a broad areas that you can utilize the critical literature review as a binding to other parts of the research. It can help you to give you a deep meaning of the problem definition. It can help you to find more data related to the preliminary data gathering. It can also support the deductive theoretical framework, as well as the deduction generation of hypotheses. Aside from that, as I've said late ago, that it can also help in the research design, as well as the data collection, analyzing, and interpretation. Basically, the critical literary review will be the heart of your research to back up the uniqueness of the in the research of the field of your research.